My premise is that this is a wonderful community, and I really mean it. The Alliance area has been very good to me. It's been very good to my family. It has so many good assets. I mean, I couldn't even list them all. People tell me there are no jobs in this community, and I say they're wrong. There's all kinds of jobs. What we got to do in this community is we got to get better workers. Now, the times are changing. When I got out of school out of 1969 at Alliance High School in Bowling Green in 1973, everybody got a job. Sometimes you had to tuck the ponytail in the back of your shirt. Sometimes you had to take a bath, but you could go anywhere. Seriously. You didn't even have to have a high school education. You could get a good job going into the auto plants. You could go into the mill. I mean, you could go everywhere. You could work the farm. The military would take you. They'd love to take you. I mean, it's getting hard to get in the military now. Somewhere we've lost it. We got to build it up again. The work ethic is not there. And I'm not asking for a show of hands, but I'm sure there's a lot of employers here that would hire people if they had the skills and the work ethic. Now, maybe it's our fault as parents, maybe it's our fault as government leaders, and maybe it's my perspective from the job I have, but I mean, I got a lot of slugs that just don't want to work. And that's a problem, and we got to deal with it. I love this corridor project. If you don't know anything about it, it's state and union. Appearance is important. My union figured it out a long time ago about having a nice looking campus. It took me about 10 years ago. True story. Oldest daughter, they always give you some surprises. She told me she was applying at Elon. I didn't know where Elon was. Never heard of it. I said, well, tell me about Elon. But she didn't know anything about the academics. She didn't know anything about the majors, the traditions. Do you know why she applied to Elon? Because it had nice property, had nice lighting, beautiful lakes, and guess what were in the lakes? Swans, you know. This is why appearance is important. That's why my union figured it out. You can have the greatest academic programs, but if you don't have the look, it's not going to work. Same thing with the community. We got all this retail, we got all this business and housing and everything, but if we don't look good, it doesn't make it. I mean, people don't take you seriously. Somebody gets tired of hearing me saying that. You know how you eat an elephant? My dad was a smart man. It took me several years to figure out how smart he was. He always said, eat. You know how to eat an elephant, son? And I got tired of hearing it. One bite at a time. That's what we got to take these projects on. One bite at a time. It's not going to happen overnight, but you can't do the big stuff and forget the little stuff. Foreclosures, they're everywhere. We got to deal with the foreclosures. I got to tell you about my neighborhood. It's a wonderful neighborhood, but we have foreclosures. You know what our neighbors do? My neighbors do. They don't wait on the bank. They don't call City Hall. They just cut the grass themselves. They even put a padlock on the door because they didn't want people going in and stealing the pipe. I mean, it's always let Andy do it, let the government do it. Sometimes we got to take back our own neighborhoods, our own business communities, and do things ourselves. And when we see the problems, instead of always calling, if you don't like it, take care of it yourself. People say, well, you can't go on private property to clean up trash. I said, well, let's see. You go on private property, clean up the trash, there's no problem. It's not else when you're the judge, I understand that. Scripture says, to much is given, much is required. This is the group, to much is given. And there's more expected of us. We got some people in the community, and that's one of the bad spots. We got a lot of poverty. We got some lower education levels. People are just trying to get by. But it's this community that's got to go the extra mile. But there's exciting things on this education. This YMCA, this early childhood development program, unbelievable what the Greater Alliance Foundation has done. This is going to make a difference. But we can't wait till all those kids get through the system. We got to do it. Not a problem, the most serious. And this is serious. It's the community's image and reputation. So we got all these wonderful assets. And I didn't even name them all. The biggest problem I see from my perspective is the community image and the community reputation. And I am amazed when people come over to this community, they find out it's not so bad. I had jurors come in from Robertsville. I mean, I think they think they're coming to Beirut for 2 years. Now this community has a history. I mean, if you read about it, this town used to we had we had prostitution on Front Street, we had gambling all up and down Main Street, we had drugs, we had some of the worst cocaine problems anyway, but that's in our past. I'm not exaggerating, folks. We live in a safe community. But the perception outside this community, and even in the community, is that we're not a safe community. And this hurts us all. Same thing happens with my alma mater. I have walked the halls of Alliance High School at least a few times every year for the last 47 years. There was a time it was a little rough, and I'm a big guy, and going down the halls was an experience. It's not that way anymore. It's a very safe school. But what's the perception? Well, we can't send our kids to Alliance High. We can't live in the community because Alliance is so dangerous. Baloney! Yes. We've got a wonderful community here. But I don't think the rest of the world perceives it as such. And I don't know why. But I think I know why. It's because it's friendly fire. We're shooting ourselves by the way we act. It's crazy. I get people come over from the play, and they can't get over about the Firehouse Theater. They can't get over about, Castle Lakes. I mean, they can't get over some of these things. We have so many assets here, but I don't know. So, I want to help. If I can help on it, we can. But there's your project. You want something to do, Chamber? You want something to do, community? You got to change this image. We've got to work on it. We all got to work on it.